Hi everyone, welcome to AeginaCraft. As you can see, I'm not in my element, or actually I'm in my old element, but this is how I pay the rent, this is how I pay for the shop. I do some painting and decorating. Now, in today's video, I'm gonna show you what I am working on this week. So, this is an old, about 100-year-old house, and this house was turned into a house from a stable. So this was a donkey stable many years ago, and now it's a house. Now what I need to do here is fix up the wall, and the problem is they use salty water in a mortar back in the day, and the salt wants to come out and just pushes all the old paint off and everything. Plus they built this extension to the wall many years ago, and they didn't fuse it in with the old wall. They just built it next to it. So I need to fix that, and that's what I'm doing. I'm scraping that stuff down, and then I'm gonna get the jackhammer to carve it out and properly connect it back together as much as I can. Anyway, I'm just a painter. Then I'm gonna clean off these walls, remove all the flaking paint, stabilize the wall, remove all the salt, neutralize the acids, and then we're gonna get some paint and paint it all up. Now I'm gonna do this inside area, and as you can see previously back in the day, they just put paint over paint over paint over paint, and yeah, that's my job to fix that. We have a little bit of salt damage here, a little bit more salt damage, and yeah, so that's basically this week's project. And today is just removing debris from the inside area. I'm gonna break this down into 3 different segments. There's gonna be one segment to do the outside area, one segment to do the courtyard, and one more segment to do the inside of the house. Oh, not the inside, but the face of the house. Okay, and today is just cleaning, ripping things out, ripping things off, just getting things down. I spent about 40 minutes just on that little square. So you can imagine this is gonna take a while. And yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing when I'm not doing AeginaCraft, and I'm not making videos on how to do crafts and arts. I'm gonna check in later on today when I find some interesting stuff to show you. But yeah, this video is going to be about that. Hey gang, so I have something to report. So what I do is when I start renovation, I do a survey before. So basically I look at the wall and I see what is the state, what is the condition. Then I start to remove old parts, bits and bobs, and I call this the surgery. And when I do the surgery, I'll try to find the cause of the problems. Now, for example, here, see this crack? This was a hairline crack, and this wall was coming out this way, and this wall was going that way. And I dug deeper, and turns out they built a wall extension to the existing wall, and they didn't fuse it in. So what you do here, normally, you carve out bricks from the wall corner, and you put the new bricks in it, so the 2 walls fuse into one. Instead, they built a wall next to the old one. They even left the plaster on the old wall. So there was, you see, there's the plaster here. So there was nothing grabbing to the old wall. And this I need to fix somehow. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna carve out as much as I can, okay? And then I'm going to stabilize the wall with polyvinyl acrylate. So it's a glue to not have like these flaky bits and bobs. And then I'm gonna use another kind of filler to bond it together as much as possible. And then I'm gonna use fiberglass tape to create a bond between the 2 top surfaces. So this is one of the things that happened. Also, when they dealt with these walls, what they done is they just put layers upon layers upon layers of paint on top of it. I counted this is 7 layers of paint on top of each other. And that caused the wall to become extremely humid. And as you can see here, this is black mold coming through layers and layers and layers and layers of paint. So with this also, what I need to do is remove all the paint, go back to bare concrete, okay, stabilize the surface, remove all the mold with hypochlorite, and then mix a special kind of undercoat paint with a mold barrier and use that on this area to stabilize the wall. And also what we have here is a column, and I think this column was out on the open air before they added this roof here. So this is out on the open air, and this top part never been sealed properly, thus the water could get inside the concrete next to the rebar and just rust everything away. Now I will stabilize this by pouring in again a polymer liquid inside the cracks to stabilize the steel, the rust, the cement and whatever left of it, and create a homogeneous polymer acrylite, whatever you call it, wall out of it, and then seal the whole thing on the top with a waterproof membrane. And that's what's going to happen. Also, we're going to carve this out, fill it with a special kind of filler. I don't know the name of it right now, but it's in that bag. And then we're going to make it nice and smooth. So I've been working on this project for an hour so far, and there is 1 very special repair I have to do, 2 with the mold, 3 with the salt, and 4 with the rusted rebar. So trust me, when I say painting and decorating is not as simple as you think, it is not as simple as you think. And even when I quote a job, I don't really know for sure what I'm gonna find underneath all the layers, but I have to be ready to solve any kind of structural and stabilization problem in the walls, because in the end, the customer don't care about this. In the end, the customer wants to have a nice and smooth finish on their wall. So yeah, here at BX Decorations, because that's my company, that's my decorating company, this is what I do. I survey, I solve problems, and I make sure they don't appear again. And I take 1 year warranty for all my work, and that's an aftercare program, so that if anything happens, you know, I come out and I make sure that it's fixed properly. Anyways, that's basically me after 1 hour of work. So I'm gonna carry on removing all the bits and bobs and try to clean up this area. It's gonna take a little bit slower than expected, so I'd rather get back to it. I'll see you in a minute. Why you clean the surfaces before you put paint on the wall. Observe. Painting is not just putting paint on the wall. Good morning. This is day 2 of the restoration project, and I'm gonna show you what I've been doing this morning. I filled the crack with polyurethane foam, an entire bottle went there, and now it's expanding out. Then I will cut it off and fill it up. I treated that with salt neutralizer, hypochlorite acid on the mold. And now, oh yeah, and also I went and I fixed all the rusty bits. I stabilized all the rusty nuts and bits with salt remover and salt neutralizer. So my chemical morning is done. I'm waiting for it to dry, and meanwhile I'm gonna get on scraping this wall down and see what's behind the cheap paint. All right, so I'll keep you posted. Hi everyone, welcome to AeginaCraft. This is day 4 of the exterior painting project, and yesterday we had a conversation with the owner because I found that the previous painters, whoever painted this house however many years ago, did not use a mist coat or a primer coat of paint which penetrates into the wall and mortar. So long story short, 7 layers of paint later, I can remove by hand all the previous layers of paint, and there is the mortar underneath. Thus, the repairing project turned out to be a complete removal of every layers of paint from the wall, a complete re-rendering of the wall, and replastering and painting from scratch. And that is a much longer project than we expected. So this is what has been done. I rendered those walls, I fixed up those walls, first layer of filler on the wall, the deep filler. I'm gonna sand it down, then we're gonna do smooth filling. And this is how smooth filling looks like, okay? Basically, as you can see, the dark spots are the indentations on the wall, the light spots are the high spots on the wall. And I just do the smooth filling to level everything out, and finally I just tiny touch of sandpaper just to make sure that I didn't leave any streaks and marks on it. And then I'm going to do this all around the house. So I'm just gonna peel everything back and paint it over and treat the algae and mold infestation, you know. So yeah, that's basically what's been going on, and that is where I'm going to continue. I'm going to spend the next few days just filling, sanding, plastering, rendering, and all that jazz to make sure that the customer will have a nice and permanent solution for their walls, and it's going to be protected from all the elements. So yeah, that's today's adventure. Let's hope I can put some serious hours into this and get some paint on the wall eventually, because I want to do this in 3 sections. So yeah, we're gonna get this. I need to get my beard fixed. Anyway, I'll catch you, check in when I have some update for you. See ya. What does painting and decorating includes, and how do we go about it? Because painting and decorating is not just putting paint on the wall, it's a much more elaborate procedure. So let me just show you a project I'm working on right now and what it takes to actually put some new paint on the wall and make it look fresh and restored. Okay, so first of all, we survey the area, and as you can see, we have some salt damage, mold, rust, peeling, and some efflorescence on the wall. Now, how do we go about this? Well, first of all, we mechanically remove all the damaged area, and if everything goes right, we find this. This is salt, algae, mold, moss, lime scale, and everything in between. So what do we do with this? Well, we chemically treat it and remove all this stuff from it with hydrochloric acid. Then we stabilize the surface with urethane liquid, which makes sure that no water can go in or come out from the wall. That is, we make it waterproof. And after that, we fill the surface with appropriate fillers, and then we apply a smooth plaster over the surface, like so, like I did it here. Once that's done, we create a mix of paint, which we call a mist coat, which penetrates into the plaster and creates an adhesive bonding surface to the new layers of paint. Once that's done, we apply 2-3 layers of chosen color paint to the wall so that we end up with a very nice strong adhesion of paint. And why do we do the entire procedure? I'll tell you why. Because when you apply just new layers of paint over the damaged area, this is what you get. you will get a weak layer of paint which you can actually easily remove by hand. And this is the cause of all the problems of Egina, because the previous layers haven't been prepared properly, and thus the entire house is prone to damage. And this is what we do here at BX Decorations. This is what I do. I fix problems and I make sure that they won't happen again. So now I'm gonna go back to bare concrete, re-render the wall, re-plaster the wall, and properly apply a sequence of materials so that the house is protected, the paint is sturdy, and it won't peel off by itself. And that's basically what a painter does. Surveys the area, make sure that all damages are appropriately taken care of. Make sure that the preventative layers are on the wall before they actually put some paint on the wall. This is science, this is technology, this is not just slapping paint on the wall with a roller. And I just wanted to clarify this because painting and decorating has always been looked at as one of the simplest trades. And let me tell you that it is not. It is one of the most complicated trades because we have to make sure that everything looks like perfect. You know, everything looks, we need to hide and solve the imperfections of a house. So yeah, I just wanted to give you an insight on what this entails. You know, what are the steps? This is a basic process what we do here. There are many more different specific treatments I do as well, but this job in particular, in general, has all the steps needs to be done on an actual proper paint job. What is up, everyone? This is day 6 of me doing some exterior renovations for a client. This subtle painting work turned into a complete renovation of exterior walls and trying to fix some... Well, let me just show you. So that's the basement, and that was flooded for many years, and the walls are made of sandstone, and basically because of the capillary reaction, it just sucked all the water up. As you can see, let me just back up a little. So here's the deal. Water got in there, started soaking up all the way up, probably somewhere there. And then on the roof, there's this drain pipe. The drain pipe wasn't sealed properly, so water started leaking from there all the way down. Therefore, this is the most saturated wall of the house. And I started removing, some debris and some, junk. And I found this cavity. And basically the mortar in the wall just turned into sand. And I need to fix this somehow. And also, somebody started repairing this thing. They put new mortar over there, but they didn't waterproof it somehow, so it just got moldy. And then they painted over the cracks with like solvent-based paint, like what you use on wood and metal and stuff. And they just painted over the cracks, so I had to scrape that off. It's a botched up work, so this job will probably take another week at least to properly repair. I already started polyurethane foam up some cavities, and I'm gonna look into how to fix that properly because that's a structural wall and I want to repair that. So I'm gonna do some research now, get the materials and properly repair it. And that is basically day 6. I'm soaked. This is like, there's 90% humidity in the air. It's extremely humid, and as you can see, it's just about to rain. But anyway, yeah, so day 6, Saturday. Fingers crossed I'm gonna get it done next week and we can get back to our normally scheduled program. Alright, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, this is day 8 of the exterior project. I started peeling the paint back, started revealing the old cracks, mold damage, water damage from the top, the botched repair works behind the electric systems. Look at that. Look at the state of that. And I found the old ground pipe where they let the ground down. And look at this. This is years of neglect and botched repairs also. So originally this was the wall of the house right here, sandstone. It was painted red, painted white, painted red, painted white, painted so many things. Then somebody rendered it up to like, I don't know, 2 centimeters right here. This was one of the layers, just on the raw sand. This hasn't been treated, stabilized or anything, you know. They just put some concrete on top of it, and that will do. And when it started to crack and peel, we had the second iteration of repairs right here, where somebody put another, I don't know, 4 millimeter of concrete on top of it. And then another layer here. So this is the original. This is first layer, second layer, third layer of concrete, and the fourth layer of concrete. And the salt just came through all the layers of concrete because the concrete is porous. It's porous. It just, you know, it comes through. Oh my God. So I started hitting it with a jackhammer, and I will probably have to jackhammer off most of it. But anyway, lately, and this had been done, I don't know, in the last 20 years or so, because this is gypsum filler, and they just done that. They just put gypsum filler on top of the concrete with the salt on it, and it comes off like this. There's a cavity behind it because the salt crystals developed behind the plaster. So my job today is hammer everything down back to stone as much as humanly possible, let it air out, stabilize the stone, stabilize the mortar, make it waterproof, and then re-render the entire outside of the house. Unbelievable. So this is how a simple exterior paint job turns into a complete renovation. Because if it's not treated right now, the sand and the mortar will be stuck in the wall and the house will eventually just fucking collapse. So anyway, that is day 8. That is me checking in, and yeah, I'm gonna carry on playing with the jackhammer, hit the wall down, and hopefully this month I'm gonna be done with everything. Hey everyone, this is day 9 on the renovation project, and yeah, I'm just checking in. So this is what I done. Re-rendered the whole thing, fixed up all that hosing for the ground wires. I know it looks a mess now, but yeah, it's almost there. Fixed up some plastering over there, worked a little bit more plastering inside. I think that is almost ready for the final sand down and ready for some paint. Yeah, this is curing as well nicely. Waiting for it to dry up and get the final sanding going here. Once that's done, I'm gonna peel and sand everything here, and I decided I'm gonna fill and sand most of the stuff before I start painting, so that everything can be done in a go. Yeah, it's hard, but yeah, I'm getting there slowly but surely. Hey everyone, it's me again. It's day, God knows how much, 12, I think. Anyway, so I'm almost done with the interior side of the place, but again, I have something to report. So as you can see here, you see these specks and bubbles, tiny bubbles, and you would think that whoever painted this, that the roller was dirty. But now when you look at it from afar, you can actually see that these bubbles start to build up from here in the shady spots, and you don't have them in the light spots. So this is what the soil damage starts out with. It starts with these little bubbles, and they lift off little by little. Now the worst part with this is I can get my sharpened spatula and start scraping it away, but you can't actually remove most of it. You can just remove the high points. So for that, I need to get my 40 gauge sander and sand the whole thing down. Now, yeah, so that's basically this project. I don't know. I'm tired, dehydrated, speechless. But anyway, so the plan is to sand down all the walls, remove all these specks and bits and bobs. Let me show you how are we doing. So this one needs to be ripped off. I done the top part, and that is ready for repairs. Apart from that one, that part I'm gonna do from from the rooftop. I was working on this for the last few days. So as I was saying, I'm re-rendering this part of the house. Yeah, so this has to go on in several layers. So this is gonna take a few days to complete. The top part isn't as bad as I thought it would be, which is good. I still have to repaint this part of the walls and this part of the doors, but I'm gonna leave them last because just nah. I done this wall. I tried to repair. There was a hole for the door over there, and yeah, that's how I could repair it for now. This is the ominous damaged wall, completely repaired now, and the inside you already saw. I done these bits, so yeah, it's a whole project. And seriously, sorry guys, I don't do too much AeginaCraft videos these days. The original plan was to do this project in a week or so, and have everything ready by today. But I still have to do everything outside and everything upstairs. This is probably gonna be another week to finish everything off. This is one of the biggest projects I've done this year. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you very much for watching always. I think I will edit this video into 2 parts, and this is going to be part 1, and I'm gonna edit together. So this is the first 2 weeks of this exterior project. Thanks again for sticking with me, and thanks again for watching my channel. Please check out the older videos I made. Meanwhile, I'm working on this massive project. But yeah, thanks for all the encouragement, and thank you for sticking with me, even if I don't upload videos every day. I love you guys a bunch, and I can't wait for the Sunday live streams again. Yeah, so see you guys in the next one. Bye.